I want to start with Mikel Arteta. Not with the scoreline, not with the table. Um, with the moment Havertz headed the ball into the back of the net. And in the 37th minute, Mikel Arteta is sprinting towards Nicolas Jover, his set piece coach, and celebrated like someone that has been waiting for 22 years, for months and months, and couldn't hold it for any longer. That celebration told you everything about what that goal meant, not just in terms of points, but in terms of what this season has cost this manager emotionally. Three title wins, 3 years of being top and not getting over the line, and now one win from ending all of that. Now, Arsenal weren't convincing, but got the job done. A corner, a header, set piece, 18 clean sheets. I don't know what anybody wants again from Arsenal. That is the job assignment. And hey, listen, guys, we're gonna do a three ups, three downs. Look at our prayer rating, as well. And I want to tell you the thing that people got the most wrong about that performance today. And I've seen the takes, right? So let me address it. I've seen the takes. That was poor, not good enough. Where was the quality? And and I want to say that if you think that Arsenal did not perform well tonight, then you missed the assignment because the assignment was very, very clear. Win the game, and that's all that matters since February. It's absolutely all that matters. Performance can go sit outside right now because all we need to do is keep winning, put the 3 points, stack the 3 points. Not about how many goals we score right now. We just keep moving that number up. And now it's just one more until it's done. Arsenal had an XG of about 1.03 to Burnley's zero point 0.2, 13 shots to 5. I mean, the numbers say Arsenal were the better team, right? By a significant margin and created far more than a 1-0 suggests. Burnley's keeper, yeah, okay, maybe he made two saves. We hit the crosswalk a couple of times. And listen, I know that we right now would want to see Arsenal score two, three, four goals. But right now, let's just remember that all we have to do is win. We're managing a Champions League final, a title running, and we've had some significant injuries, right? That a lot of teams that are right there. Man City right now have gotten all their team basically intact. And for me, that's just football. It is football. We would love to see more goals, but sometimes that just doesn't happen, right? So listen, let's get into the three ups. What Arsenal did well in that game. First up, we're gonna talk about it. The Havertz corner. Saka. And Trossard hits the post in the first 10 minutes. And then Saka weaves to the byline, crosses, the bar saves Burnley. Then at 37 minutes, a corner. And look, Saka does this every single time. He's so good. And I'm so glad that we're getting to see, the best version of Saka. Maybe that injury did him a little bit of good to go sit out a little bit, come back a little bit fresh. It's been a long time that we've seen, this kind of Saka at the end of the season, and he might be the one that wins us this league. He floats that ball, into the corner. Havertz rises above everybody else, heads it cleanly into the back of the net. And listen, it's pandemonium. Everything erupts at the Emirates. And listen, this is Arsenal's 18th goal from a set piece this season. And listen, nobody's going to talk about our record as well, but I think it's so important. Havertz scoring a goal is great. He's had a bit of an up and down season, I would say. But he's delivered in big moments for Arsenal. Remember the Sporting goal too as well. He comes in and scores this goal. So for me, I thought that was definitely an up for me. Okay, so let's talk about up number two, Declan Rice. I mean, is there anything else that we can say about this player? You can see from his demeanor, like after every game, he has this steely stern on his face, almost like he's resetting for that next game. Okay, this one's done. We've got another one to go. And I think for me, That's exactly the sort of quality that you want to see in Declan Rice. I mean, the numbers as well. If you want to look at his numbers, absolutely phenomenal. Sofa scores data, had Rice at 100 touches. That's the highest of any outfield player for Arsenal. 72 from 82 passes accurate, and that's about 88%. Nine defensive contributions because he played more as a six today, five tackles, and 113 meters of total progression across the pitch. And his heat map just shows, that he was covering every zone, defensive, central, attacking. He's that box to box midfielder. He's the engine, and he was the anchor. And simply, we just cannot do without Declan Rice. And he also did it again at the London Stadium, did it again tonight. And listen, when Rice is playing like this, he can definitely take us to the title. What he did with West Ham, taking them to that Conference League title, I think he can definitely do this for Arsenal, not just for the Premier League, but also for the Champions League, as well. Listen, up for me was the lap of honor. Absolutely enjoyed, seeing that. I think, after that final whistle, seeing the players come back out, doing that lap of honor and just taking the appreciation of the fans, is really what Mikel Arteta has been building for a long time to create that family, atmosphere. And I love the fact that it wasn't wild celebrations, not anything like that, because nothing has been won. It was a celebration of, yes, thank you very much for coming to support us. We love the fact that we won today, but hey, let's show our appreciation, but let's keep the eye on the prize. And I thought that was really, really good. It was really, really mature, as well. And listen, the fans were all into it. And that's something beautiful to see. Big ups to the fans, as well, who were at the start of the game, with the flares and all of that. And hey, we need to do this a little bit more. And hopefully we can take that same momentum to Budapest, and get the job done over there, as well. So, as we do in this show, we talk about things that Arsenal didn't do too well, in the game. And the first one, let's talk about Eze. And Eze had three shots tonight, two on target, an expected goal on target figure of 1.14. That means that his shots were genuinely good chances. Aim at dangerous areas of the goal, and he hit the woodwork once, and then had one saved and the other missed. And his total progression was only about 32 meters, and just one progressive carry. So the question is the same one that has, sat, with me, for a few weeks. When Arsenal needs Eze to make things happen from the 10 row, he finds pockets and passes or has shots that do not go in. Yeah, I mean, I think he could still be a really, really important, um, part of the team, but he feels to me like he's a moments player. And listen, I am the first to admit it. I want to see more from, Eberechi Eze, and I think that he can give more. Okay, second one, 16 fouls, Havertz challenge. I mean, Burnley committed about 16 fouls, to Arsenal 7, right? But I think what everyone is talking about is that second half, Havertz challenge, that had everyone calling for a red card. Um, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I think for me, um, we just have to be careful about that because listen, this referees are not going to give Arsenal anything. Let's be clear about that. Penalties and stuff like that. Penalty shouts is just not something that Arsenal are getting right now. And I think that the referees are almost overcorrecting to make sure that they are not in the sporting light. And listen, did Havertz get away with one? If he got a red card for the challenge, I don't think it was a red card. I don't think that there was enough forces in it. It was a missed time tackle, and everything. But I know a lot of people are crying and screaming for that. But I think we just have to be careful about giving the opportunity for people to have those kind of conversations, or the referee to make any decision that could ultimately be fatal for Arsenal. Um, yeah, let's talk about this Glasner and Crystal Palace situation, right? Um, Crystal Palace are playing Arsenal on May 24th with a Conference League final against Raya Vallecano in Leipzig on May 27th, 3 days later. And Oliver Glasner has been hounded by the press, hounded, bullied, so to speak, to just make sure that he does not play a weekend side against Arsenal. I don't understand this because I've not heard anybody ask Unai Emery whether after his team wins or potentially wins a trophy before playing Arsenal, that before playing Man City, if you'll be playing a weekend team. And it's that sort of double standard that is infuriating a lot of Arsenal fans right now. Because clearly one team, is being told you cannot play a weekend team, cannot play a weekend team. And it's funny because when Crystal Palace played Manchester City, it was a weekend team. It was a rotated team, but I don't hear anybody talk about that. So I just think that it's just a little bit of a farce. And the reality is Glasner needs to make his own decisions. What's best for Crystal Palace, but Arsenal cannot control that. So we just need to control our performance. We need to score first. We need to win the game on its own merits and just make the Palace question, and team selection irrelevant. Okay, let's do this quickly. Let's talk about player ratings, right? So Rice for me, 9, man of the match, no debate about that. His touches, his contributions, it was a complete performance in both halves from Declan Rice today. And this has been the best I've seen him play in a while. And I keep saying that after every game, but this dude, um, when he plays in an Arsenal shirt, he gives absolutely everything, and we're so grateful to have him as well. And listen, all the questions about who deserves Player of the Season, that is the player. I don't care about what Bruno Fernandez has done. He's not played half the games that Declan Rice have had to play. Not his fault, but at the end of the day, you cannot then reward someone who's played less, who's done less statistically, in the sense that he's played less games than Declan Rice. Um, and yeah, whatever anyone wants to say about that, that's fine. But I think for me, Declan Rice is a player of the season. Okay, Havertz 8, because he scored the most important goal for Arsenal. Whatever you think about his season, whatever the challenges he's had, I think that header at 37 minutes was just clinical. And I think for me, there's a callback to this because he had the header against Manchester City that he missed, and this one he got a spot on. So fair play to Kai Havertz. I'm gonna give Eze 6.5 in this game as well. Most of the other players I'm gonna give 7. I want to talk about Saka as well because I thought both Saka and Trossard played very very well today. I'm gonna give them a 7.5, both of them, because I thought that they did very well. They did very well. A couple of other players, even Lewis Kelly that came in, Calafiori, Incapie, for me, all of them are 7. I thought everyone performed at a level of 7. Today, and yes, I talked about that Eze that I'm giving 6.5. He's the one that I probably rate the lowest out of everyone, but I thought it was a 7 out of 10 for a lot of the players today. Now, listen, Mikel Arteta said after the game that at the end of the day, against teams that want to defend in that low block, it's more difficult. And Burnley, credit to them because they're very well organized, and the big teams have struggled big time to generate chances and opportunities against them. And he's not wrong, because Arsenal certainly struggle to generate lots of big chances. But when the chance comes, you got to take it. So I think he was calm. I thought, he was very measured in his response. And listen, we've got one more game. We've got one more game, and that's it. Listen, the areas for us to improve, and there's no question about that. We will improve, but I think that there is a maturity that Mikel Arteta is also displaying, which is really, really encouraging. Listen, lap of honor as well. I talked about it. I thought that was amazing. Um, and whatever happens, that's also going to be part of our history. So, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Glass now plays a weekend team? And does it matter? And which moment of this season made you first think Arsenal would actually do it? Now, of course, City play Bournemouth away tomorrow on Tuesday. Probably watching this tomorrow as well. If City drop points, Arsenal are champions, right? On Tuesday night without playing another game. I don't see that happening. I think this City team has been relentless. You've got to give them their flowers. They've only dropped points against Everton. Have won pretty much the rest. But Arsenal have got 82 points. It's always good to get the points in the bag and forget about the games in hand. So we've been building for 3 years, guys. And this season, we've got to a Champions League final. We've won 25 league games. We've kept 18 clean sheets. And all of that has brought us here. One more result, guys. One more result. Come on, you Arsenal.